Well, hello. Good day, everybody. How are you? Well, welcome. Welcome to the 2018 International Convention and Competition in St. Louis, Missouri. We are all so glad you are here. Now, I do want to let you all know that I took pains to research the proper pronunciation of this lovely city and state in which we're going to be spending the next few days making beautiful music together. And I checked it on the internet, so you know it has to be correct. St. Louis is how it is said, but apparently, according to the internet, there is no definitively correct way of saying the state name. So it could be Missouri or Missouri. So I just wanted to put you all at ease before you begin the week and running around town and talking to people that that's the way you say it. And aren't you glad you came early for a little bit of linguistic insight today? Now, there could be some actual people who live here who might correct me later on, but I'm always open to that. All right, well, it is my distinct privilege and pleasure to introduce to you right now your 2018 International Board of Directors. Now, I believe that it is tradition that for your board, we permit 3 claps per board member, 3. And we save the rousing round of applause for the end of the introduction. So, shall we practice the 3 claps? On 3, not after 3, but on 3, we're going to clap 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow, that was loud. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't do that so close to the mic. That's very, very good. You are ready to go. So, if you will, please welcome Sharon Cartwright. That was more than 3 people. Jennifer Cook. Perfect. Oh, you are so good. Peggy Graham. Cammie McKinley, Janice McKenna, Renee Porzel, Mary Ray, your International Secretary, Trace Antonini. Very good. Your International Treasurer, J.D. Crow. Your immediate past president, Paula Davis. Your president-elect, Joan Boudelier. And I am Patty Cobb Baker, your international president. Please give these hardworking women an enthusiastic round of applause. Your sweet Adelines International Board of Directors. Thank you, ladies, very much. There she goes. Well, I am very humbled and honored to be here tonight, standing before you as your international president. It's a leadership position that I truly never envisioned that I would one day hold when I joined Sweet Adelines as a young woman over 35 years ago. I'm going to actually talk a little bit more about that later in the week, but truly, I think every president who stands before you will tell you that they obviously stand on the shoulders of so many other Sweet Adeline sisters who opened the doors of opportunity for them and generously share their wisdom and their talents so that we can grow into women of purpose and passion and potential. There are really far too many women for me to list by name, but I do want to specifically acknowledge 3 of our amazing and outstanding leaders whom we lost this year, much, much too soon. Each one of them inspired and mentored me and supported me in my leadership and my musical journeys as well. And I'm sure they did many of you too. Dorothy Jures, Bev Miller, and Carol Persinger, we miss you, we love you, and we honor your incredible contributions to Sweet Adelines International and the gifts you shared so generously with all of us. Yes. Well, now it's my privilege to do something really fun and make a very special presentation. I'm thrilled at this time to recognize Sweet Adelines International's longest consecutively chartered chorus, the Kansas City Chorus, with a state proclamation recognizing their 70th chorus anniversary. 70 years. So I am going to read this wonderful proclamation to the chorus from the state of Missouri. So get ready for a lot of whereases. Whereas the members of the Missouri Senate always welcome the opportunity to acknowledge milestone events in the histories of Show Me State organizations engaged in the arts, and whereas the Kansas City Chorus is a women's four-part harmony a cappella ensemble that practices the ancient art of barbershop singing and is the oldest active chapter in the Sweet Adelines organization, and whereas chartered on October 30th, 1948, as a member of the Sweet Adelines, the Kansas City Chorus is celebrating the 70th anniversary of that special event. And whereas winner of the Norma Bergman Most Improved Chorus Award in 1982, the Kansas City Chorus participates in regional and international Sweet Adelines competitions, including 14 of the last 28 international competitions. And whereas the Kansas City Chorus is made up of more than 60 women singers and meets every Tuesday evening to sing and learn barbershop harmony. And whereas the Kansas City Chorus was founded in 1945 and practices at the Metropolitan Community College Longview Cultural Arts Center in Lee's Summit, Missouri. And whereas Sweet Adelines International is a worldwide women's singing organization with nearly 22,000 members and was originally formed in 1945 in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And whereas it is fitting and proper that the Missouri state should pause in its diverse legislative activities and responsibilities in order to recognize such outstanding Missouri arts organizations as the Kansas City Chorus at momentous times in their histories, now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the members of the Missouri Senate 99th General Assembly, join to applaud the history, goals, and accomplishments associated with the Kansas City Chorus, and to convey to all those involved this legislative body's most heartfelt congratulations as they celebrated the organization's 70th anniversary as a member of Sweet Adelines. And be it further resolved that the Secretary of the Senate be instructed to prepare a properly inscribed copy of this resolution in honor of the Kansas City Chorus. And the copy of the proclamation has been given to the Kansas City Chorus. Please extend your sincere congratulations to this amazing, outstanding chorus with your heartfelt applause. 70 years with Sweet Adelines. A remarkable achievement, don't you think? And I think we've got quite a few others on their heels who are probably right behind them and ready to celebrate as well. In tonight's State of the Organization address, I would like to talk with you about the very exciting things that are happening in our organization and to give you an update on the things that matter to you and to me and to all of us in Sweet Adelines today. But first, I do want to say that it has been an interesting 5.5 months of my presidency. It's almost an understatement and kind of inadequate to use the word interesting. It's been very interesting indeed. And Tammy Talbot, our new CEO, and I dove together, full immersion into our new roles back in May. And we would like to say to all of you how blown away we have been by the care and the support and the feedback that all of you have given to us. As a new leader in the organization, we just can't describe how important it is to hear from you, to learn from you, and to get to know as many of you as possible as we address the business of Sweet Adelines International on a day-to-day basis. So both of us would like to say thank you to all of you from the bottoms of our hearts for that. Okay, so let's talk about Sweet Adelines and what's happening. Yesterday, I had the opportunity to talk with our regional leaders, and we talked about Sweet Adelines being in a typical cycle of organizations, a life cycle, we call it, of organizations. And we're in our 73rd year now. And with the major shifts that we have seen in society over the last few years, and even in the barbershop marketplace itself, there are many things that can potentially impact how we do business. So what we see today in Sweet Adelines is a greater need for an emphasis on organizational transformation today. There's been a lot of transformation over the last 73 years. You can't be an organization that lasts for 73 years without transforming and growing in many, many ways. And we've seen it. If any of you have been around as long as I have, we can enumerate the many things that have changed along the way. But today, we want to look at the things that we're doing right now for this particular phase. And there's been a great deal of effort to improve the way we do business as an organization, our business practices. And I want to go over a few of those with you tonight. For example, we changed from a team of 4 managing directors to a chief executive officer and what we call a C-suite, chief operating officer and chief financial officer as well. We've also increased the use of task forces as a way to advance various of our strategic initiatives and flesh out new programs and practices. And we're using so many of you, volunteer members, on those task forces to help us with those initiatives, and we're so grateful for that. Slowly but very surely, we are adapting the use more and more of technology to enhance our operations and especially our communications to all levels of our organization. We have recently hired an information technology consultant to help us with our new database and website upgrades. We've used more and more tools, and we're updating old tools as well, to increase our connection to the grassroots member and to our regions. And we've recently added 2 new committees to the board of directors, or to the international level, a finance committee and a board governance committee, to provide better oversight and management of our precious financial and volunteer assets. So those are some of the things that we're doing in terms of our business practices. But we've also taken a really hard look at our overall organizational health. And we are taking measures to transform that life cycle that we're in to one of rebuilding and growth. For example, some of the things that we're doing, we just recently, in the last couple of years, implemented a strategic short-term action plan that focuses on our infrastructure as an organization. And we're updating things like I mentioned, our website and our data management system. We're also working on developing new and improved online education within this short-term action plan. And we've created a new marketing campaign for use in advertising and recruitment of new members. We've also scheduled a visioning retreat that is going to be happening next month, and I'm sure you've heard a lot about that if you've been in your email box recently. And I really, really hope that you all had an opportunity to complete the survey that we sent out to all of you as members to get your thoughts on what your vision of Sweet Adelines is for the next 10 years. There's going to be a very diverse group of members from every region working with the board of directors to create that vision for Sweet Adelines and then create a 10-year strategic roadmap and set of initiatives. So that's just a really, really brief summation of the work being done at that top level. But there are many, many other activities taking place in support of those transformative strategies. For example, I'd like to show you a preview of the work being done to create the new marketing campaign for use in our advertising and recruitment efforts that I just mentioned a few minutes ago. The video was debuted in July on the Sweet Adelines International Facebook page, but in case you didn't get a chance to take a look at it, take a look up at the Jumbotrons right now and check out our new campaign.
We represent nearly 75 years of harmony, over 21,000 members across the globe, and generations of women sharing their voices and growing. as sisters. Now it's time to let the world know who we are. Introducing the Sweet Adelines logo and the new marketing campaign. I will be your melody, your listening ear, your comfort, your sister. Sweet Adelines International. Life on a high note. Posters, brochures, social media, a new website, and original photography and videos coming later this year. It's the next generation of Sweet Adelines, capturing the spirit of our organization. Our music, our mission, our sisterhood. Sweet Adelines International. Life on a high note.
Do you like it? Great. So that incorporates a beautiful new logo for the organization. I imagine some of you have seen that new logo already, and it's appearing on t-shirts everywhere at the convention this week. Have you gotten yours? I got mine. Lots of t-shirts for sale over the international sales with that beautiful new logo on it. The Littlefield Agency, an advertising and marketing firm out of Tulsa, is partnering with us to create that marketing campaign. And they are going to be here in St. Louis with us this week, Thursday through Saturday, to take photos and videos of us, you, me, all of us, that will be used in that and those marketing materials and on our new website as well. So don't be surprised if there's a camera aimed at you that you didn't know was going to be there. So I can't wait to see your beautiful faces gracing our media and showing the world who we are and what we are about. As the video said, we're targeting at the beginning probably of 2019 for these materials to be available to you. So I also mentioned a little bit earlier the visioning retreat that's going to be held next month in Tulsa. The board of directors and 25 members who are representing a variety of perspectives and skills and demographic representation and experience are going to come together to engage in a very creative process. And what we're going to be doing is exploring our current and hopefully future context in the world. We're going to analyze whatever strategic issues and opportunities that there are existing for us today and in the future. We're going to envision our hopes and our dreams for the design of our future, who we are and who we want to be. And we're going to use all of that learning to revamp our existing strategic plan with innovative strategies and initiatives that will then implement that vision. The facilitator for this visioning retreat next month is Marcia Ray. She's a futurist and a strategic consultant and facilitator and a futures researcher who specializes in nonprofit organizations and associations. Marcia has been hard at work over the last 6 months collecting a vast amount of data and information for use in our visioning retreat, including input from all of you and the retreat participants through our visioning surveys. Marcia is also going to be joining us here in St. Louis later in the week to experience Sweet Adelines International in full force in preparation for the retreat. She would love to meet with any of you and hear your thoughts on what your vision is for Sweet Adelines. So look for her Friday and Saturday. She will more than likely be with our CEO, Tammy, somewhere up here in the front. So if you have something you want Marcia to know, come find her, and she wants to talk to you. So as we're working on adapting more best practices to increase the connection between the international level of management and the grassroots members and regions, we've implemented several new policies and events in direct response to member requests and input. We are listening to you. For example, there's been a recent change in our member longevity policy. The email came out about that to all of you, I believe, at the end of August. And it now enables your longevity in the organization to include all of your years of membership, despite any breaks or lapses in your membership. And that was implemented after receiving emails from you, from members requesting that change. And up to this day, I think Valerie Renz, our membership manager, says she's gotten over 200 requests from members to go about doing that, getting their longevity updated. So that's a policy that you all spoke up about, we heard, and it got changed. The songwriting, thank you very much, you may applaud. The Songwriting Contest that was held just earlier this year, and the results of which will be announced on Thursday. And we had over 110 song submissions for that songwriting contest, was also created as a result of input and concerns from you regarding the new challenging copyright clearance procedures and the desire for new music. We listened and came up with a contest to see if we could get some more music created for us to sing. Our incredible new arranger certification program, which we had a class on yesterday, I believe, is also similarly the result of the need for new arrangements, new arrangers, new music. And next year's IES is being held in the UK, in Region 31, as a result of input and invitations from our non-North American members, as was the 2016 AHA in New Zealand. All of this is to say that it does take the proverbial village to transform an organization. And I always believe the more brains, the better. Your voice does matter. Your ideas count. So, your international leaders and your headquarters staff are listening. Keep those cards and letters coming. Oh, and emails, those two. So speaking of IES, did you all hear that the 2020 IES is going to be back in San Antonio, Texas at Trinity University? Yes, that's right, back in Texas at our good old Trinity University. Heart Attack Hill is back, if you might remember that. But the good news is that they have built alternative passage so that you can avoid Heart Attack Hill if you need to, but I know you don't need to. I know you're gonna take that hill on because you can. So you can see that even when an organization is in transformation, some old ideas are worth bringing back every now and then. So as always, it is a great time to be a sweet Adeline. I've always found that transformation, whether it be in any organization that I've worked in or been a member of, is a very exciting time. It's full of fresh energy, creativity, and growth. And that energy fuels progress. More effective programs and services, more efficient processes, improved member satisfaction, and better musical products. Sweet Adelines is an organization that has transformed itself many times over in its 73 years, and we will always be evolving and improving. But here's what's always going to remain constant in Sweet Adelines International. Our love of singing four-part barbershop harmony and all it teaches us and makes us feel. Our love of one another and of the strong sisterhood Sweet Adelines offers that feeds our very souls. Our love of harnessing the power of both the singing and the sisterhood and using that power to enrich our lives and make all of us better and stronger women. Our love of this organization, the best women's barbershop organization on the planet, and our love of harmonizing the world, teaching the world of women to sing and finding our own personal song in the process. Those things will never change in Sweet Adelines International. So as I conclude my comments today, I want to remind you that the election for next year's International Board of Directors is ongoing now. The last day to vote is right after Turkey Day, I think, November 28th. So you'll have had your turkey and your pumpkin pie. Once you've eaten that, you have got to vote for your International Board of Directors if you haven't already. November 28th by 3 p.m. Central Time. I hope you really know how important it is for everyone to ensure that their voice is heard on who will lead Sweet Adelines through our current phase of transformation into our future. Wouldn't it be spectacular to have 100% of our chapters and Cal and Mal members participating? Yes, it would. We want to see it 100%. The slate of candidates who are running for the board is so very impressive. It can be found on our website. Emails have gone out to all of your regions and your chapters. So please take time to review those resumes. These skills are so valuable that these women hold to the international board, and please make sure to get your vote in for that. So I want to thank you for being here this evening, and I wish all of you a week filled with fun, happiness, and grand harmony. If you're competing, break a lip. May you be transformed by the connections, both musical and personal, that you make this week, and the memories that will fill your hearts forever. Would you please join me as we finish by singing how we sang today? And then we're gonna have a contest. B flat from somebody. B flat, B flat. I will do that. Tomorrow.